let's talk about the eggs in your fridge. Because, there's something deeply wrong with them. For thousands of years, eggs were seen as this complete, perfect food. Dense nutrition in a perfect little package. They fueled farmers through brutal workdays and kept families fed through long, cold winters. But today, that same word, egg, well, it comes with cholesterol warnings and a pale, watery yolk that looks nothing like the one your great-grandmother cooked with. So what on earth happened?
And that right there is the big question we're tackling. How did this food that literally sustained civilizations become a source of so much fear and confusion? To get to the bottom of this, we've got to look at what an egg used to be and what it's become today.
And this really just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one hand, you have the historical egg. We're talking vibrant, rich yolk, packed with nutrition, a symbol of life itself. And on the other hand, the modern egg, often pale, slapped with health warnings, and really just another mass-produced industrial product. They're both called eggs, but honestly, they might as well be from different planets.
All right, so let's rewind way back. Picture this. You're a medieval peasant. Life is tough. It's grueling. Food isn't about fancy brunches. It's literally fuel to survive. And in that world, the egg wasn't just on the menu. It was essential.
Just think about it for a second. We're talking about back-breaking physical labor day in and day out. You need some serious fuel for that, right? Well, eggs were the perfect answer. They were this incredible, affordable source of high-quality protein that could get a whole family through a long, tough winter. Seriously, for many, they were a lifeline.
And the thing is, this wasn't some kind of trend. For literally thousands of years, pretty much everywhere, people just got it. The egg was a nutritional powerhouse in a perfect little shell. It was just a fact of life. Nobody argued about it.
So, if eggs were so great for so long, what the heck happened? Where did it all go wrong? Well, for that, we have to fast forward to the 20th century. This is where the story takes a sharp turn, and a superfood gets turned into a public health villain, thanks to a mix of, well, let's call it questionable science, big industry, and some very clever marketing.
Okay, so the main culprit in this whole story is a single term: dietary cholesterol. The idea we were all sold for decades was super simple. Eat cholesterol, like in an egg yolk, and your blood cholesterol goes up, and boom, heart disease. Sounds logical, right? But here's the thing. We now know that for most of us, it just doesn't work that way. Your body is a cholesterol-making machine, all on its own. And the cholesterol you eat, it barely moves the needle.
And if you look at how this all played out, it's pretty wild. It all kicks off in the middle of the 20th century with a few shaky studies that, frankly, freaked everyone out. Next thing you know, it's the 70s, and we're getting official government warnings against eating eggs. And then came the 80s and the whole low-fat food craze. Suddenly, there was a ton of money to be made by keeping us scared of fat and cholesterol. And the poor egg? It was the perfect fall guy.
But here's the real kicker, the biggest plot twist of all. While this whole debate about cholesterol was raging on, something else was happening almost behind the scenes. The egg itself was changing. Fundamentally changing. The food everyone was so scared of wasn't even the same food our grandparents ate.
And this is it. This is the absolute heart of the matter. All those warnings, all that fear and confusion, it was aimed at a product that had been completely transformed by the industrial food system. Think about that. The warnings weren't for the egg. They were for this new industrial version of it.
Okay, so let's break it down. The difference is just, wow. A pastured hen, she's out there roaming around, eating grass, bugs, worms, a whole natural salad bar. But a conventional hen, she's usually getting a steady diet of soy and corn feed. And that diet change has a huge impact on the egg itself, packing the pastured one with way more good stuff like omega-3s and vitamins. You don't even need a lab to see it. Just look at the yolk. Deep, vibrant orange versus that pale, kinda sad yellow. And this chart just drives that point home. We are not talking about tiny, insignificant differences here. The levels of things like vitamin D and those amazing anti-inflammatory omega-3s can be way, way higher in pastured eggs. It really makes you stop and think, right? When someone says the word egg, which one are they actually talking about?
Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. What we've got is this ancient superfood that got tangled up in a modern myth based on some shaky science, all while the food itself was being completely changed from the inside out. It's pretty clear we need to take a hard look at what's really inside that carton at the grocery store.
So, if you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. The problem isn't the egg. It never was. The problem is the system that makes the egg. The fear wasn't just wrong, it was pointed at the wrong target. The real issue is an industrial food system that values pumping out massive quantities over producing actual quality nutrition.
And that really leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? We've pulled apart the myth, we've looked at the history, and we know for a fact that not all eggs are the same, not even close. So maybe the question we should be asking isn't, are eggs good for you, but where did this egg come from? It's something to think about the next time you're standing in that aisle, right?